everyone. Let's get this show on the road. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here. Welcome back. I am thrilled that you are here. As always, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you've stopped by to check me out. I hope you like what you see here. I do stitching, I do knitting, although not as much knitting recently because I've done so much. I'm stepping back from it a little bit. And I do punch needle. So, welcome. I'm glad you are here. You can talk to any of my other viewers and they will tell you that I love to connect with the community. I love to connect with all you people that love creating with your hands as much as I do. So I am thrilled you're here. Feel free to make comments. I really do try to reply to all the comments. I don't always. Sometimes I just put a heart on so that you know, if you've just left a little comment, I will leave a heart just to let you know that I have seen it and I do appreciate you. Let's see. If I seem a little run down, tired today, it's because I am. I didn't sleep well last night. I have a bit of a headache, so excuse I'm not a very high energy person anyway. If you're here looking for somebody super bubbly, you've come to the wrong place. But I'm kind of low key and mellow and calm, and if you're looking for that kind of thing, plus a lot of great stitching and other handwork, you've come to the right place. But anyways, yesterday was my first chiro adjustment. And he had told me that I would feel sore, like have muscle soreness. This was an all over. He hit it all. And yeah, I felt last night like all evening and last night like I had the flu, without the necessarily feeling bad flu-like, but just the aching all through my body. I just wanted to curl up in bed. But even having done that and taking Motrin, I still didn't sleep well. So I'm kind of, I don't know whether I look like I'm tired, but I'm ready for a nap. There is a nap in my future. Let's see. So that was yesterday. I think it's going to be good. I'd hate to jump the gun, and he said, "Don't think just because you're feeling good that you're done." But I've done laundry this morning. I've done various little things, nothing major. And while I've had some pain where I usually did from my sciatic nerve, it doesn't seem to be sticking around like it did. Like I put a load of laundry in, and I have my washer dryer are stacked here in the apartment, and the front loader washer, they're both front loaders, is down. So it hurt as I was bending down to put the laundry in and take it out. But whereas before it would keep hurting, it's not feeling too bad right now. Other notes. Please continue to keep my father-in-law in your thoughts, prayers, positive healing vibes. Send it all out there. They still don't know what's going on. As far as I know, the last thing I heard, we're still waiting for the results of the pill cam, of him swallowing the pill cam. Although my mother-in-law said they really don't expect, I guess it's a very low probability that they can see anything. The camera could be pointing the wrong way. It just didn't get a good view. They are pretty sure that he has a GI bleed someplace caused by blood thinners. They are going to put this Watchman valve in. It's the same one they put in my mother-in-law. It's something to do with the valves in the heart. It helps to control them better so the patient can go off of blood thinners. And it's the blood thinners that cause the bleeds in the GI tract. And that's what caused her problems when she passed out at the restaurant and fell and hurt her hip. Luckily didn't break it. And they suspect that because they've ruled out so many other things, they suspect that that's what is going on with him. So he will be getting that Watchman put in, and then see what happens. Let's see, other news. I wanted to share some other news from the Flosstube community. I had mentioned back in December, if you remember, that Yvonne, Night Owl Stitcher, had lost her husband. She posted on Instagram I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was the night before, that she finally felt like picking up her stitching again. So she posted a picture of what she's doing. It wasn't much more than that. Of course, there's been a huge outpouring of love and support from the community. If you haven't seen that and you are on Instagram, I highly recommend that you reach out, Night Owl Stitcher. I think it's on Instagram, I believe it's Night_Owl_Stitcher. And just give her a hug, let her know you care, let her know that you're thinking about her. She isn't necessarily responding to all the posts, but she is, putting the little hearts on them, so she is reading them. I think she probably appreciates knowing that we've got her back. We're surrounding her. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to shout out, Christine from Stitch All the Things. If you don't follow her, you should. She's hilarious. She's a hoot. She's not a calming presence necessarily. She's one of much more high energy than I am, which isn't a bad thing. She just got her new sewing room put together, and it's where she's going to be filming her Flosstube videos from now on. And she does a kind of a tour of it. Let's see. It is from, I think it was on the 20th. I will link that below, so you can check that out. It's gorgeous, and of course she has all of her fabric displayed. It's worth a look-see. And like I said, if you don't follow her, you should. She's great. She has great projects. She makes beautiful project bags. I mean, she's just fantastic. One little YouTube advertising thing, and then on with the show. So you know that those of us on YouTube who are monetized, we do get a revenue when you watch those ads, and that revenue, me speaking for me personally, helps me with the postage for the giveaways, just all the little things that go into making a Flosstube and supporting the community, as well as reimbursing excuse me, us a little bit for the time. Now, I do know that every once in a while the ads that are put on are like 2.5 minutes long. And if you're anything like me, you look at those and say, Jan, I want to support you, but holy cow, 2.5 minutes? Well, I just read yesterday that as long as you watch 30 seconds, if you skip the ad after you've watched 30 seconds or more, then it counts towards our revenue. So don't feel when you come to those long videos, I don't watch through them all. Although I did see one this morning that was kind of interesting, but that's a different story. Don't feel you have to watch through them all. Just go ahead and hit 30 seconds, or more, and then you can skip the ad. And if you don't like watching the ads, what I do is I start the video, and that's when I get out my stitching and figure out where I am on the pattern while the video is playing, get my needle threaded and all that. So I haven't really paid attention to the video at all by the time I'm ready to stitch. The person's talking. So usually, unless it's a 2.5 minute video, and then skip ad. All right, let's talk Nashville Market. I was actually going to pull up some pictures and I forgot to do that. There is not a whole lot at the market this year that is calling my name, and that is a very good thing. I do have a list here somewhere of things that I did like. There we go. I think I'm learning. Granted, it's only been a month and a half, but I think I'm learning in this stitch from stash year that I really can stitch from stash. I have plenty here, and I love everything. This year of BAPS, I love it. It's working out so well for me. I don't feel deprived at all. And looking through the Nashville Market releases, I don't feel deprived at all. And even the ones that are calling to me, I know they're not going to disappear. They're going to be in stores for years. So, but the ones that I have noticed, and most of them are totally not my style. Who knew? Samplers Not Forgotten has one called the English Garden Sampler, and Just Stitching Along, the Miss Lucy Calcut 1826, the second of the Miss Lucy Calcut samplers. Both of those samplers. But they are samplers, like I said, I had meant to get photos and I forgot, and maybe I will, I'll try and find them and stick them on the end of this video so that you can see them. These were samplers that were different enough from the traditional samplers, kind of like Luz Gonzalez's, that they really called to me. Plum Street has a couple really cool ones. Salt box houses, I love. Of course, I think one of the houses is turquoise. Of course, I love it. The other one, they have a wool and flax company, which is a companion piece to their milk and cream company that they released last year. I liked the milk and cream. I'm not a big cow person, but I like the milk and cream. I have to tell, did I ever tell you that story about the cows? I think I did. Anyway, but of course, wool and flax. A sheep wall, right? At some point, I hope to have a sheep wall. At least I want to have a lot of sheep on my wall. So I like the wool and flax company. There's a new designer called Blue Flower. I just wrote Blue Flower. I don't know whether it's Blue Flower Needleworks, Blue Flower Stitching. Michelle Bendy Stitchy. This woman is, she must live out there. She's somehow related to Acorn and Threads, whether that's her local store, whether they've encouraged her, I'm not sure. Michelle Bendy Stitchy has done a Flosstube. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not sure of the details, with this new designer showing her new designs. They're gorgeous. She has a very Quakerish feel, which you know I love. She has some seasonal things, winter acorns, autumn acorns, spring acorns, the color of winter. Love them. Love the acorns. I don't know why, but they're gorgeous. The quilting bee, I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram. Beautiful. And then she has a series of cat ones, and one of them says, "We are not amused." It's just so Sasha. Anyway, other than that, and that's actually quite a few, and it's not like I'm going to rush out and get them. Maybe I'll get them when I'm at StitchCon, or at least some of them. You know, the ones I'm more worried about getting are things like the Garden Club series from Blackbird Designs. The you know, I got, if you recall, if you've been watching me, I picked up the Blackbird Designs Winter from the cross stitch store here, but it also, that's the one that's just the three, what is it, summer, autumn, and winter, I think, are the three of the seasons, and it's you know, they go together, and I only have winter. I would love to get those other two. Those are the kind of things, because Blackbird Designs, we know, discontinues things, right? Those are the things that I'm more worried about getting than these ones that are just released. They're going to be around for a while. So, Nashville. I would love to hear what you're looking at for Nashville. If you have any head over heels falling in love, gotta have now, or just what your thoughts are on the market. I would certainly love to go. I'm sure the eye candy is just amazing. Okay, so stitching. No finishes, of course. All the whips do have that one little piece of haul, the pattern from the Russian store. Actually, I do have some show and tell. My friend Kim Esmond, many of you know her, crocheted this for me. This apparently is called the virus shawl. I don't know what the real name is. Everybody said, oh, it's a virus shawl. Okay. Apparently because the pattern went viral. It's gorgeous. Kim, what yarn did you use? Is this Noro? The color change is perfection. Just look at that. Now she did say that she hadn't blocked it because she didn't know how big I would want it. And quite frankly, I like the size it is now. I have a feeling that crochet, I don't crochet at all. I know nothing about it. In fact, when I posted the picture on Instagram, somebody noted that I was wearing it backwards, that I had the wrong side showing. I don't know. I hope I have the right side showing now. I don't know how you tell in crochet. I don't know. To me, it looks reversible. But anyways, I don't know that I'll block it because I think it's a good size now. Kim very generously made this for me to help keep me warm on the chilly winter mornings here in Hawaii. Kim, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just stunning. The colors are perfect. Oh, and I didn't say it is Tuesday, February 26th. It's 11:49 now on the gorgeous island of Oahu. So this is going to keep my Kieran Foley chestnut crescents company back here on the back of my chair. Okay, stitching. So as always, worked on several things. I had mentioned that I'm loving my year of BAPS and my rotation. 2 or 3 days for this, bright, shiny object, stitcher, knitter person. 2 or 3 days on one project is just perfect for me. I'm ready to move on to the next one, but I feel like I've gotten a good amount done. And then there's also my little projects. So we will start with, and I'm using a handy dandy envelope, mailing envelope here as my backdrop. Grateful Hearts. I don't know why my needles are always coming undone when I show things anymore. It's like every single video. Grateful Hearts by the Trilogy. I am obviously not going to get it done by the end of the month, but as I mentioned before, I'm just going to keep plugging away at it. So this week I got the purple section, the purple band there finished up. I got this brown border in here finished, and then started this one. Well, I had a bit of that down here, but got this much done here. So it's coming along. Like I said, I am going to keep at it. And what I've been doing, instead of doing an hour a day, like in the evening, if I feel like putting away my big project, but don't feel like not stitching, I'll get this one out. Because filling in, like just doing these parts at this point is pretty brainless. I don't need to look at the pattern. So that is Grateful Hearts. My big project up until 2 days ago was 4 Seasons. Oh, let me find. Pictures. All right, so you may remember this one. That it doesn't focus. Anyways, I'm starting over here. You can see that pale tree over there. Probably isn't focused here either. Anyways, so I'm still working on this pale tree. And when I started this, again, pictures. I don't know whether you can see from this, but I just had a few of the colors of the tree done. All right. So I got most of the tree finished, more of the, I guess, snow banks on the bottom. I had been hoping to get the tree totally finished, but I worked on this 3 days, and by the end of the 3rd day, I was like, no, I'm ready to move on now. The building back behind this tree, This here is all in white. There's a lot of white coming in here, and I was just like, meh. Didn't feel like stitching white at that point. I will be glad, as pretty as I think this is, I will be glad to move on from all the pale colors. I mean, I like it. It's going to be a stunning piece, but I'm ready to move on from all the pale colors. The piece I pulled out after Four Seasons is Leeds House Sampler by Rosewood Manor. And I had gotten that much done, as well as this little corner here, that little corner piece. This is on the third, okay, I didn't say the fabrics. The Four Seasons is on 36 count. It is fabric from XStitch Designs that she dyed for me, custom dye. The Grateful Hearts is on, it's a 28 count Lugana or 32 count, one of those types. This is a 32 count Helix. Helix is the colorway. I believe it's Picture This Plus. It's the called for. Although the called for is a 28 count. Yeah, Picture This Plus. They call for 28 and I'm doing 32. So I'm really pleased with my progress on this. So like I said, I was here with the D and the P and the Y. So I finished a good chunk of the alphabet and started that little border piece right there. I thought I would be able to get the alphabet done in this go around, but I decided to drop down and start that piece instead. This is showing like a gray fabric to me. It is actually more of a blue, a bluish gray. I love it. This is using those Sulky Petite threads. I love working with them. I love the colors. Just so pretty. But it was time to put it away. Now, one thing I am going to change on this is the verse. I'm not going to put all those words down there. And what I'm thinking of doing is, you know, as with all Rosewood Manor designs, Karen Kluba does a great job of adding all kinds of other little bits and pieces in her patterns. So she calls them Be Creative ideas. So there's other things for like little initial things and a different welcome piece, and I mean just all kinds of different things, different alphabets, and more border ideas. What I'm going to do is keep this border, just the top part there, and then I think I'm basically going to make it a band sampler. So the next band, I'm going to do those across the way, because I love those. You can see those pretty too well. And then I may do this. I may do something with these. And then I'll finish it off with this bottom band. So I'm not actually sure how much is going to fit in here. I don't want it to be a whole lot longer. Or maybe I just need to measure it and see if whatever change I make puts it into a regular sized frame. I haven't looked at it that closely, but there will be some changes coming. So that is gorgeous. And you know, looking at it laying over there, I don't think the colors showed up quite as nicely on camera. But I'm always worried about how the colors show up, right? Oh, it's getting warm up here. Okay, the other thing, going back to my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. Quilter's Cottage. So, you guys have seen me with this several times on both my Stitch With Me and my video on how to choose different colors. I know a lot of you found that useful. Here it is here, the original. And this is what I have so far with the color changes. The white is working out for the frames around the windows here. I am still undecided about the frame here. Many of you, not many, half dozen, suggested that I change, don't worry about changing the gray of the window pane, but to change the window frame to the same black that's up here. I'm undecided. I kind of almost like, see what the pattern does is the color that is used here in this section of the house is the frame here, and the color that's used here and in this section is the frame here. So you can see the white is perfect with that. But, you know, that frame almost gives it that kind of weathered, beachy look, and that's the look I'm going for. So I'm unsure. I think what I'm going to do is when I get to this side of the house, it is symmetrical. I'll make this frame in black, that, you know, the color of the roof, and see what I think before I tear that out. But anyways, getting a little bit done. The funny thing is, I watched Priscilla and Chelsea. It's been a while since I've watched one of theirs, but I watched their video from this past Saturday. I think it was this past Saturday. Might have been last Saturday. I don't remember. And of course, Priscilla is making color changes too. And she's doing these parts in red instead of the pinks, but she chose a blue that seemed to me more of a turquoise. She said she's going for more of a red, white, and blue coloration to make it more of a patriotic piece. But she did choose what I thought looked like more of a turquoise for the center of the house there. So I thought that was rather humorous that we kind of went the same direction. I'm not going for patriotic though, of course. I'm going for beachy. All right, so there's that one. And this one I'm trying to work on an hour a day. Some days I make it, some days I don't. Oh, and I did zigzag the edges of the fabric, and I did iron everything before my video today. Do you like that? Could you tell? Did it make a difference? If it didn't make a difference, I'm not going to do it every time. Okay, so Leeds House is getting put away. I'm going to be pulling this beauty out next. The Grace Quaker sampler from Sampler Cove. And that, no, that's not upside down. That's what I have done so far. There, that's pretty true to color. Why is this all folded up? I don't know. I did iron it, I promise. It got a little wrinkled because linen. I love it. It's so pretty. So happy to be getting back to it. And like I said, you can see how blue it makes when I come in closer. Really gives it a blue tinge. Anyways, that's good. That's totally accurate. Oh, that's what I started to say. Shoo. Like I said, I think last week, I was not thrilled with my Tiny Decision app because it just wasn't bringing up some of my patterns, and this is one of them. So I am thrilled to finally be getting back to this, and I'm working on this motif here, which is this motif. Goodness, that's so pretty, isn't it? I love to stitch. Have you noticed that? It's just all so pretty. All right, so Jan, that's all that stuff. I wanted to show you a few goodies and then talk about my plans a little more. So I had mentioned that I got the other thing I ordered from mybobbin.com, and this was the freebie that they sent, you know, part of the promotional materials. So it is this lighthouse pattern. Now this does come, it does have, it's a kit, so it has the floss and it does have 14 count Aida in it. This Aida will be getting put into the stack for a giveaway. yes, I'm collecting more Ada, so I will be having another Ada giveaway. And I also have all the patterns of the things that I finished over the course of the past few months that I'm going to be giving away too. So I think what I'm going to do is on my birthday, my first thought was on my birthday to do all these things as a giveaway. So I'm giving you guys gifts on my birthday, which I think is an awesome idea. My pause there, though, was the idea of on my birthday, I am going to do 5 starts, and I'm going to be talking about those in a second and showing you those. Because I'm turning 55 and you all gave me permission. In fact, there were several of you that said, why stop at 4? You're turning 55, do 5. Makes sense to me. And what I really hope to do is, well, what I plan on doing, if it doesn't get too insane, is do a stitch with me with each of my new starts. So as I start stitching on it, I'll do a stitch with me, and they may only be like 10 or 15 minute videos. I'm not going to do long. I'm going to work 2 hours on the pattern, put it down, pick up the next one, film for 10 minutes, and get all those uploaded before I start the next one. So it's going to be kind of an intense, crazy stitching, videotaping, uploading kind of day. Those videos will probably be very rough, unedited, not anything fancy. But the reason I paused is because those will be kind of insane. I'm not quite sure how to do the giveaway in the midst of all that. Let me see what day my birthday is March 12th. It does fall on a Tuesday, so that is my filming day. So maybe the first video, maybe I'll do a short video first, or at the beginning of my first stitch with me. That's probably what I'll do. Showing you all the different things that I'm giving away. Yeah. I'm not going to mention it on any other stitch with me. You'll have to watch the first stitch with me and comment on the first stitch with me about which one you want. And then I'll announce it the following week. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. It's my channel. I'll do what I want, right? Whatever I think makes sense is what works. Which means I'll probably change it before next week. Stay tuned. Let's see. So, having said that, birthday, 5 starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that all of them? Yes. Okay. So I had told Mike I was going to wait till the 1st of March to make my purchases for my birthday. I think I phrased it something like, honey, somebody you love is having a birthday soon. Really? He said. I did not know that. We have fun together. I told him I was going to wait. I had a list. It was not a big list. I was keeping it under control this year, but that I was going to wait until the beginning of March. But a lot of this stuff is on Etsy. It is fabric. Some of it is fabric. And some of them, you know how on Etsy they say, hurry up and get this. There's only one left and it's in 5 other people's carts. So that you're like, oh my God, I gotta get it. So I got it. So I got 2 pieces of fabric from Barbaral Creations in Hungary. I'm excited to see what her fabric is like. One of those is the rainbow fabric that I've shown you, like on a pink background. I can't wait to see that in person. I also found another indie dyer named, I think it's like Jackson Fabrics or Jackson Fiber Art, something like that. She is located in Arlington, Virginia. And she had some very interesting, she does a lot of batik and shibori and different styles of dyeing. And she's she's not only serving the cross-stitch community, she's also serving other communities as well. But her cross-stitch fabric, the one I got, you could get it in either a 30 count or a 54 count, so I'm really not sure what it is. Those are kind of odd counts. I got a 30 count. It's called Galway, Galway, so perhaps an Irish linen. The colorway is like a navy blues and dark greens and, you know, deep, rich jewel tone colors. I'm going to do this on it. I think all of these colors are light enough. Perhaps not some of these. I'm just going to have to see when I get it, but I think it will work stunningly on a dark piece of fabric. And I may even like use some yellow floss and do like a light shining out, like, you know, beams of light coming out. This is not one of my birthday starts. The fabric is part of my birthday present, but this may get started at some point soon anyways, just so I can see how it looks on that fabric. So I also got some patterns for my birthday. I also got another punch needle pattern. I had been planning on starting this like not long after we moved here in December, but it never happened. And I'm not really keen on starting a more wintry pattern right now. So I did buy a springy pattern that I'll show you in a second. And I got the weaver's cloth to go with that. And then I also got some Silks for You silks, just the little skeins. I haven't ever tried those, and I really want to use some of that on several videos ago, back whenever I visited Janine in Canada and met up with Heidi Cran at the cross stitch shop there in London, Ontario. I bought Shades of Gold, and I have a dark brown fabric that I got at Keepsakes in October, and I got some silk floss that I'm hoping will work on that fabric. So I got a couple different colors that, you know, we'll see, but just the little skeins, because I think that'll be enough. So anyways, the patterns I'm starting. Let me go to my photos again. First and foremost, Aloha. So this is the one that was in that magazine this month, Cross Stitch Crazy, I believe. And what's really cool about this, did you see that? This was mounted on a canvas, an art canvas. And I think that's awesome. And I may very well mount it like that. This is the toucan that we said just doesn't work. What we were talking about was moving this hibiscus up there or this hibiscus over. I'm not sure, but I am going to try and replace the toucan. So I'll, like this leaf back here, I'll just continue that leaf like I would, like the leaf's whole or whatever. And then try and flip the hibiscus around so it's kind of pointing out that way and work that in there. I don't know. I hope I don't make a mess of it. But that's my plan for that. The next one is not a surprise to anyone. Pretty Little Hawaii. It's time, right? Carolyn Zook from C. Zook Stitch is working on this, and I fall more and more in love with it every time I see it. So I went ahead and got it, and that will be one of my birthday starts. This one is just, look at that. So I first saw this on Instagram, and this is a Russian designer, and this is one of the gals that I recommended to the lady that got in touch with me from MyBobbin, that she reach out to this designer because they do not have her on mybobbin.com. But I was thrilled beyond words to find this on Etsy. Now, I mean, India, it's called OM, O-M. Now there is a shit ton of backstitch, but that is part of what makes this. I mean, oh my God, this is gorgeous. So that's one of my birthday purchases. And let's see. Then the punch needle that I got was a Michelle Palmer design. I have not done one of hers yet. I love so many. I had a hard time choosing, but this one just really stood out for me. Ranunculus Bouquet. Is that gorgeous? And does that scream spring or what? So I am very excited to get this, to get the weaver's cloth. This was just a download for the pattern, and get started on another punch needle. And that's just going to make me so happy. Look how pretty those colors are. All right, so that is, am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the other one? Oh, the other ones are the spring door. I think I now have 6 here, don't I? And peonies. This is actually called Pink Etude. I'll probably actually start this one and not the spring door one, because that will bring me to 5. So, March 12th. It's going to be a fun day. What I plan on doing between now and then, is that right, Brad? Oh, I think I'm starting 15. No, I'm not starting 15. So wait a second. I just don't know what I'm doing here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then I also wanted to start, see, my list and my pictures don't match. My list says Aloha, Peonies, Spring Door, the Jeanette Douglas Hawaii piece, and then the Indian Elephant. I do want to start the Jeanette Douglas Hawaii piece as well. Let me see if I have that handy. I do. That's this one. It's a very Hawaii themed birthday, right? So I do want to start that one as well. So I may not start the peonies either, but I do want to start the punch needle as well. I may be starting 6 or 7 on my birthday. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll just see how many I can actually get kitted up. I also wanted to show you, when I met with D Nuts here on Oahu, when we met up to stitch the other day, she gave me some goodies, and I forgot to show them last week. She gave me a couple of needle minders. Now, she knew that I don't use these very much since I do stitch in hand, but these are very lightweight ones that she thought might work. I still don't think I'll put them on my fabric. I'm going to put them on my little lamp next to my stitching spot, so I can put my needles on there and try and get out of the habit of putting my needle in the fabric. She also gave me a couple skeins of DMC and one of the new colors. This is 31. I don't have any of the new colors yet. I actually have some coming from DMC that I included when I bought the chart, not the chart, the you know, the thread. You know, all the threads, pictures, or the threads so you can compare. Oh my God, words are hard. And then she also gave me these two. She has gotten a lot of things, I guess, from Jay's ExStitch. I believe this is an Aussie dyer. I don't know whether she or he, I don't know, does fabric as well. But she gave me these flosses, and they are just stunning. Dee has absolutely been watching me enough to be able to know my colors. It's really not showing very well. This one is so deep and rich in jewel tone, very purpley and magenta-y and violet-y. And then this one with the sky blue, almost tinging over into lavender. Kind of a periwinkle. So, Dee, again, thank you. I'm so sorry I didn't get those shown last week. I think that's about it. Let's see. I think so. Moment of joy for me this week. So I'm going to talk about my son again, and I keep forgetting to save off pictures. You know, my son has started this week. I mentioned last week how he has these moments on Instagram, and it starts my morning off every day by seeing his little story. And this week he's focusing on karma, reap and sow, putting out into the world what you want to get back. And it really hit a chord with me because this whole movement, this whole, I don't know what to call it. Like I said, words are hard. My joy moments. I get so much back from you guys in your comments, in your stories, in the fact that I'm touching you and lifting you up. And it's more than I ever expected. But there's also these little moments of reminders as I go through the day. There was I think it was an ad on Instagram maybe, of a little like tabletop bubbler fountain type thing. And it had a little Buddha in it and these little plants. And there was one of these little focal stones in the front, and it was like just a little bowl. And so it was filled with stones, but there was a little white stone in the front that had the word joy on it. Now, my plan was to make something like that, get something that would work, and put it in our little foyer, on that little table in the foyer there. Unfortunately, there is no outlet there that I can use because, you know, for the fountain, you do need to have electricity, and I'd have to be stringing like a extension cord across the hallway, you know, and I'm not going to do that. We will be having a fountain outside on the lanai at some point. But I just find it interesting that as I go through my day and I go through my week, not only am I getting a response from you, but there's these reminders. And Ben's morning talks are also a reminder. It just amazes me that there's this whole circle of synergy that happens when you start putting vibes like this out in the world. Would I notice it if I hadn't been doing these little joy moments? Probably not. It probably wouldn't. I'd notice it, I'd appreciate it, it wouldn't impact me the same way. Moments of joy. I am happy to spread them. I'm overwhelmed at what I get back. So, karma, reap and sow, spread the joy. Find your joy. I'm still working on that cross stitch thing, by the way. I'm trying to find some software that will work best for what I want to do. Easy enough that I'm not going to be taking tons of time. Oh, speaking of tons of time, I'm almost done, I promise. I don't usually ramble this much. Maybe I do. I have revived my website, madforyarn.com. It is going to be the place that I'm going to put in the notes from every video over there. And it's also going to be the place where I keep track of my color conversions. So anytime I do a color conversion, I'm going to do a post about it and have those notes there. And then I'll also be doing posts about the videos, anything that was linked that I mentioned in the video, I'll put the links there. So madforyarn.com is my website. Okay, guys, I think that is it. Find your joy. You constantly bring me joy. I can't tell you how much I love your comments. Don't ever be afraid to comment, to just say hi. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the time you take to spend with me. Have a great day. Have a great week. I will be back on Friday for a stitch with me. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.